So today we're going to dive into another pretty large piece of acne, which is blackheads. And I want to start with clarifying what blackheads are because they can kind of get mixed up with sebaceous filaments. So blackheads specifically are hardened sebum and bacteria that hardens in your pores and then oxidizes. So because it is open, it's an open comedone, it is being exposed to oxygen, and within oxygen there are pollutants, free radicals. These are molecules that actually go in and wreak havoc in our skin, and one of the things that they do is they oxidize sebum. So all of the sebum gets oxidized and it becomes a dark color. So a kind of a false belief about blackheads is that blackheads are full of dirt, which is actually not true. Dirt cannot form like that sebum impaction. Of course, if your skin is really dirty all the time and you're never washing it, of course there can be dirt mixed in with that sebum. But most of us are regularly washing our face, so it's not dirt that's in your pores. It is that oxidized sebum mixed with dead skin cells and bacteria. So it's kind of a gross little thing going on there. But this is a part of acne. This is a key part of acne is these open comedones. It is very connected to non-inflamed acne types. If you don't know if you have non-inflamed acne or inflamed acne, I am going to be doing an episode on that soon. So I think in a couple weeks we'll clarify that. But if you have non-inflamed acne, it is very much classified by having lots of blackheads. These open comedones that have this oxidized sebum that appears dark. And sometimes these are easy to extract, sometimes they squeeze right out, and sometimes they are very hardened into the skin, and if you try to remove them, they can create marks and scarring. So what we want to do is try to dissolve that hardened sebum and dead skin cells to remove them. And there's also some key ways that we want to prevent blackheads, and we're going to go into that as well. So what often gets called a blackhead is sebaceous filaments. So what are sebaceous filaments? These are pores that are full of sebum and therefore become more visible. So really common, you'll see these on your chin. You can also commonly see these in oily places of your face where your pores appear to be slightly larger because they are full of sebum. So really around the nose, some people even get them between their eyebrows, in the middle of their forehead. Really anywhere that you get a lot of sebum production, a lot of that oil production, you're going to end up with sebaceous filaments. But these are different. This is just sebum that's hanging out in your pores and making your pore appear to be more full of gunk and congested. So we often refer to this as congestion in the skin. This can happen much more often with oily skin. We don't see this quite as much with dry skin types, but it absolutely can happen. You know, dry skin types, they get acne too, they get breakouts too. So you can see it in all sorts, but we really see it a lot in oily skin. So a lot of the solutions that I'm going to show today are going to be best for more oily combination skin types, because that is who is going to be seeing these issues a lot more often. But I will give some alternative options for those of you who have more dry skin or maybe even sensitive skin that requires a lighter touch, but you still get that congestion and those blackheads. Okay, so let's dive into some products here. So yes, we did clarify the difference between blackheads and sebaceous filaments. There's some crossover in how we're going to treat both of those conditions because they are both caused by that buildup of sebum and skin cells. So obviously the blackhead is a little bit deeper, it's a little bit more like an acne lesion, whereas sebaceous filaments are more on the surface. They aren't usually infected or anything like that. So they're a little bit different, but we're going to use a lot of the same products here because the core of this issue for blackheads and sebaceous filaments is that sebum. So we're going after that sebum. We want to soften the sebum and help it be cleansed away from our skin. So let's start with kind of an interesting take. Some people with oily skin, with blackheads or with sebaceous filaments, run away from oil. You know, you've probably heard some people say, like, if you have oily skin, you cannot use anything with oil. All oil is bad. But oil cleansing can be so incredible for oily skin types who struggle with clogged pores because those clogged pores are made up of oil, and oil loves oil. Oil helps to grab onto and dissolve other oils. It helps it soften and lift out. So the magic of cleansing oils is that cleansing oils have been formulated very specifically to be used first on dry skin. So you put it on dry skin, the oil attracts oil, it starts to emulsify the oil and sebum in your own pores. Then you add warm water, and you're activating the surfactants that are formulated into a cleansing oil that are the water-loving molecule. So then that same molecule has a water-loving hand, it latches onto the water that you're putting on your face, and it lets you remove that oil cleanser completely without any residue. So there are some oil cleansers that I've seen out there that don't have any surfactants. You don't want those. Those are not going to rinse clean off your skin. You're going to be left with a bunch of oil residue on your face, and if you have clogged pores, acne, anything like that, that is absolutely not what you want. So keep an eye out for ingredients like, this is some really common ones. Let's see in here. So we have this di-PPG2 merythrin adipate. That is a surfactant. So by adding that into an oil base, you now have a way for that cleansing oil to grab onto water and be removed from the skin. So look for surfactants in your cleansing oils. I have 2 cleansing oils with great surfactants and that are formulated with acne-safe oils. These are 2 of my favorites. So we used to not carry the Orgain one. So let me start with the Michelle Corley one. This was the first acne-safe cleansing oil that we were able to find that also rinsed clean. It is absolutely fragrance-free, essential oil-free. I've never had someone have an allergic reaction to this. This is really fabulous for all skin types, but especially people who are needing that extra cleanse and really getting a deep clean to get the sebum off of their skin. This is incredibly economical because it lasts a very long time. 1 pump is all you need of this cleanser. And remember that you are putting it on dry skin. If you put it on wet skin, the water is going to bind with the surfactant and it's going to be rinsed away immediately. You're not going to get any of the benefits of the oil, emulsifying oil on your skin. So put it onto dry skin, massage it into your skin for a full minute. I know that feels like a lot, but really massaging and emulsifying your pores is really going to make a big difference with both blackheads and sebaceous filaments. What I like to do with my oil cleansers, I should mention, so the Orgain cleansing oil is actually my go-to now. I've kind of graduated on. It does cost a little more, but it has more plant extracts, so it has a nice light spa scent. It has rosemary, lavender, and geranium in here. So it has a little bit more of a luxurious feel. It's in this pretty frosted glass packaging. I just like it a lot. I know I would easily use either one of these, just my personal preference because I like the scent is the Orgain one, but they both rinse clean. They both have emulsifiers in them. So what I like to do so that I make sure I'm getting that full minute of oil cleansing is I'll really massage my face for like 30 seconds to a full minute. Then I get out either my Anma or my Gua Sha, and then I do that lymphatic drainage treatment while the cleansing oil is still on my face. I find this gives fantastic slip for that. So beyond that, like I said, your oil cleanser is not going to be your only cleanse, especially if you have oily acne-prone skin. You need to go in with a second cleanser. It's going to get any residue that's left behind, and it's also going to treat the skin. Once we've removed makeup, we've removed sunscreen, sebum, and oils, now we can use a cleanser that can go in and treat the skin and further clean out the pores. So cleansers that I like for oily blackhead prone skin types, I have 2 here. Let me start with the one that I've been using for probably over 6 years. Actually, probably longer than that. The Lemieux Exfoliating Cleansing Gel. Anyone who will listen, I tell about this cleanser. If you've been recommended this cleanser by me, you know this is so good for sebaceous filaments and congestion-prone skin and oily skin. I use this 2 to 3 times a week. I make sure I'm cleansing for a full minute so you can get the benefit of the cleanser and it really leaves you with like baby soft skin. This is an active cleanser, so I don't recommend using it every single day unless you really do have very resistant oily skin that can tolerate stronger cleansers. Then you could try using it every day. I had an ex-boyfriend with oily skin, and men have more oily resistant skin, so he liked to use this every day. He would go through this bottle crazy fast, which is crazy because a little bit goes a very long way. I say that about a lot of products, but this one really, it has this little flip cap, which I'm glad for, because if it was in a pump, you'd probably pump out too much. You just need the tiniest little bit of this cleanser. It suds up really nicely, and it works just so well for clogged pores, congestion in the skin, oily skin. It's so good. I've been using this for so long, and I tell everyone about it. This is key for me because my skin does not tolerate high amounts of glycolic acid well. And after this, we're going to go into some glycolic acid, because glycolic acid, which is an AHA, is so good at getting blackheads. There's just something about glycolic acid and blackheads. That's just such a great tool to use. But my skin does not tolerate a ton of glycolic acid. I have slightly more sensitive skin. Glycolic acid is a very small molecule, so it penetrates deeper, and it can be more sensitizing to some people. So for that reason, I like this one, because the Lemieux Exfoliating Cleansing Gel, because this is salicylic and lactic. Salicylic is great for oily skin. Salicylic is great for helping to dissolve sebum. So if you have really oily skin, look out for salicylic acid products. So that's the first cleanser I want to mention. Okay, so this one, so the Glymed Facial Cleanser, even though this is glycolic acid, my skin actually tolerates this really, really well. And I've also used this for blackheads. But there's a specific trick with this, and it works really, really well. So what you're going to do is you're going to do your first cleanse with an oil cleanse. Cleanse for like 1 to 2 minutes. Really get in there, especially massaging the areas that you have congestion and blackheads. Rinse that off, pat your skin dry. Then, with dry hands, dry skin, you're going to take a little bit of this Glymed Glycolic Facial Cleanser, and you're going to like kind of rub a little thin layer into the areas that you get congestion. So rub a little on your chin, across the nose, let it sit for 5 minutes. Then, what you can do is you can even take, if you can get a steamy towel, like take a clean towel and put it in the sink, get it hot and steamy. Then you can kind of drape that over your skin, let it kind of steam your skin a little bit. Then emulsify, rinse away the cleanser, and your blackheads are like dissolved on the spot. If they're not dissolved completely, they are super, super soft and just ready to be very gently extracted out. I know we tell you guys not to extract your pimples, but if you have a blackhead, there are some safe ways that you can extract them at home. We do have a blog that has a full facial recipe for helping to dissolve and extract your blackheads. So if you are curious for that, you can reach out to customer service. They will send you a link to that blog. But that one's really helpful. But first, just try doing that hack. Use your glycolic cleanser. You can do the same hack too if you already have at home the Bion Glycolic Cleanser or the Skin Script Glycolic Cleanser. There are so many glycolic cleansers that you can do that same hack with one of those. You don't have to buy multiple glycolic cleansers. And you'll see how those blackheads really soften up. And if they're not gone after you do that, then you can very easily extract them. If you are going to extract them, make sure that you are very, very gentle. One way to force yourself to be gentle is use 2 Q-tips. So you'll hold your Q-tips. Let's see if I have some. I do. So you'll hold your Q-tips, and you're just going to very gently go on each side of your blackhead and press down and then squeeze together. Then you are pushing it up from underneath. It's going to get the whole blackhead up and out of your skin. You want to do this gently. If you're having to squeeze so much that you're starting to see your skin turn red, then stop. It means that blackhead is a little deeper in there than you think, and maybe you're going to need to cleanse a little bit more with the glycolic cleanser. Maybe cleanse a couple days in a row with it to really soften that up. So that is your permission to do some light extractions on yourself. If you go too hard and you're a picker and you know that you're gonna get caught in front of the mirror, and before you know it, 30 minutes have gone by and you've got all these red, puffy, angry spots that you've been extracting, I have some emergency little fixes for you. I have two options. So for my normal to dry skin types, you need to have the Glymed Recovery Cream with Arnica on hand. So the Arnica in this is going to prevent bruising. It's going to help with that puffy inflammation that you get after a breakout. It's really going to help with healing. This is more of a moisturizing cream, so I don't recommend this for oily skin types. But if you do have that dry skin type and you're a picker, you need this cream. You'll put this on all over, go to bed, you'll wake up, and those spots that you picked will be way more healed. So this is the Botnia Soothing Repair Mask. This stuff smells amazing. This also has Arnica. So this has Arnica that was grown like an hour from here, which is such a beautiful part of Botnia. They have their own little micro farm where they grow their plants. So this is a gel mask. It comes out like a really nice lightweight gel. So it's not going to cause any issues for my oily types. This is a mask, so you could leave it on for 10 minutes, wash it off. But where it shines is a sleep-on mask or sleeping mask. So after you do too many extractions, your skin is pink, you might have a little bit of bruising from squeezing your skin too hard. Slap this all over your face and let it stay on all night. It really calms that inflammation, is going to boost healing. It's just a lovely, lovely product. So those are my two tips. If you go too crazy, your skin is puffy, angry, red, maybe even you're starting to bruise a little bit from where you were pushing too hard, you need some Arnica in your life. These two are your Arnica saviors. Okay, so let's go into the other part of Blackheads, which is that it is sebum that is oxidizing. And a really important part of this process is that you can actually help prevent that oxidation from happening at all. This can also really help if you do have a lot of very visible pores, you've got a lot of sebum that is oxidizing. Get some antioxidants in your routine. The nice thing is that probably 80% of all skincare products have antioxidants in them. Antioxidants are really easy to add into products. So most cleansers, serums, moisturizers have antioxidants in them. So I want to point out a few that you can add into your routine if you don't have any antioxidants yet. One key one that I know I've been talking about this a lot, but it has become such an important part of all acne routines that I've put together these days, and it is the Glymed Daily Skin Clarifier. So this not only is a very potent antioxidant serum, this is also a tyrosinase inhibitor. So this is inhibiting the pigmentation and scarring from breakouts, from picking at your skin. This is really important for people who really struggle with pink or red marks that last for a long time after you've had a breakout, or if you are very sensitive to getting sunspots. It also is going to help with sunspots as well. So having this product in your routine is going to keep that sebum from oxidizing. It's going to keep you from scarring when you do have a breakout or when you are picking at your skin a little bit too much. And what I really like about this is that it is easy to add into any routine. It doesn't have any strong correctives or exfoliants into it, so all skin types can use it, and you would layer it before your Mandelic or mix it in. Or if you're using a salicylic, whatever serum, corrective serum you're using, you can mix some of this in. And honestly, it's really cost effective. It's this huge bottle. Most serums are 1 ounce. This is 2 ounces. So it's just, everyone needs this in their life. This is going to prevent sun damage, prevent scarring, and it's also going to help with blackheads and sebaceous filaments. So everyone needs Daily Skin Clarifier in their life. I use it twice a day, every day. Okay, Radiant Serum from Glymed. So another Glymed product. They do antioxidant products really well. They make sure that every product they sell is packed with antioxidants. And this one is really lovely for mild acne. Maybe you just get a couple of pimples a month and you have blackheads and sebaceous filaments, your skin's a little bit oily. Glymed Radiant Serum is the one for you. This is a 1% Mandelic. So this is pretty dang gentle compared to a lot of the Mandelic serums on the market today, which means that you can use it daily without any issues, but you're still going to get the benefits of mandelic acid. Mandelic acid, antifungal, brightening, antibacterial. It is so good for so many different skin concerns, including blackheads. So this is a really nice serum to add in if you don't have a corrective serum that you're using, or you haven't been able to find a Mandelic that you can tolerate using every single day, because the end goal with any Mandelic serum is you want to be able to use it daily. To keep your skin clear, you have to stay on top of killing the bacteria, minimizing sebum, clearing the pores of dead skin cells. That is the key to getting clear skin. And if you can't be doing that daily, then you have to use gentler products. So that's why I like having this in my back pocket for clients that do get a lot of blackheads, just mild acne all over, but their skin's just not ready for something stronger. So teens with more sensitive skin, great candidates for Radiant Serum. I just wanted to mention this one because you are getting the AHA exfoliation for blackheads and your pores, but you're also getting a big heavy dose of antioxidants. So that's Radiant Serum. Okay, let's dive into another key piece that is very helpful for blackhead prone skin, and that is clay. So, folks who have very oily skin, blackheads, they go out and they buy the Egyptian clay mask. You guys know which one I'm talking about. Maybe it's called Amazonian, I don't know, something like that. People buy it off Amazon. It's really affordable and it is just clay, which is great. Clay is really, really good. But if you are just putting this straight clay across your blackheads, what does clay do? It hardens. So yes, it helps to absorb sebum because it is hardening down onto the skin. It is a very dry material. If you've ever used that mask, you put it on and within a minute or two, you're like, it's like all the moisture has been sucked out of your face. And a lot of people are like, oh, this is good. This is pulling all the sebum out of my pores, which is what I need. But if you have hardened blackheads, that's just gonna harden them in deeper into your skin. It is not good for being able to get those out. It's just gonna dry that area further, harden down those breakouts. So when we use clay on acne, we want to use clay in conjunction with some of these other solutions that we've already used. And you also want to choose a clay mask that doesn't harden down into the Sahara Desert within a minute. So there's a lot of helpful clay masks that don't harden down, so your skin can still really get those purifying, oil-absorbing benefits from the clay. Clay is also antibacterial, antifungal. It can be a mild keratolytic, which means it accelerates cell turnover. There's amazing benefits from clay, but if it's immediately hardening down into dried mud, there's not much that it can do. It's just sitting on top of your skin at that point. It's probably absorbing some sebum, so that's nice. So if you are really, really oily, it can be helpful for that. But besides that, it loses its efficacy because it's just hardening down into dry clay again. You're not going to get those benefits. So I have a couple solutions for you guys, ones that I really like that don't harden down so intensely. So the first one I want to mention is Soothing Clay Mask from Face Reality. I know so many of you love this mask because it does not harden down. This is not going to over dry your skin. You're going to get all the benefits from clay without your skin feeling like the desert. They also have charcoal in here. Charcoal is also really helpful for pulling impurities out of the skin, helping pulling out bacteria. This can be really helpful for helping with blackheads because it is getting that sebum up and out. Clay is really great for preventing those blackheads from forming in the first place because you're pulling that sebum out, you're pulling that gunk and bacteria. Just such a helpful treatment for oily skin that is prone to those larger pores, prone to a lot of sebum and blackheads. So that's Soothing Clay Mask. This is the best for dry, sensitive skin that still really struggles with a lot of pore issues. So that's Soothing Clay Mask. Love this one. I don't think it has a scent. It just smells like clay to me. Yeah, it doesn't really smell like anything. This one has a little bit of a scent. So next up is Neogenesis Volcanic Ash Mask. This is such an interesting little mask because there's antioxidants in here. There's a little bit of sugarcane extract, which is a natural form of glycolic acid. So that's another blackhead buster. And then you've got your clay in here. And the color is wild. So that volcanic ash mixed with the clay in here creates this very deep dark color. And it does have a floral scent to it. I think that they wanted to kind of cover up the earthy clay scent. So they did add a little bit of scent to this. Let's see if I can tell you what the scent is. Ah, that's it. So it has orange fruit extract and lemon fruit extract. And I can smell that in there. It is just like a light, slightly sweet, citrusy scent. So just know on that one that this does have that. So This one is a step up from Soothing Clay. So Soothing Clay, good for those slightly more sensitive skin types. Volcanic Ash has that sugarcane extract. That is going to help with pulling up those dead skin cells, lightly exfoliating the skin, while you're also using clay to pull up that sebum. So this is your step up from Soothing Clay. Such an interesting mask. Little goes a long way. This jar will last you a long time. Hot tip, when you buy this jar, it is going to have a secondary lid on it. So when you pull off this lid, you're gonna have a secondary lid. This one is missing its lid, which is very sad because that lid you need to keep. After you use your mask, you're gonna put that little lid back on, and that just really keeps air out of this mask. If this mask gets too much air in it, it's gonna dry out. You can kind of slightly rehydrate it if you have like Neogenesis moisturizing mist or like the Glymed CBD mist. You can mist a little bit with some of the mask and rehydrate it, and it's still gonna work really nicely. But if it fully dries out, then it's done. You have to throw it away. So just know, keep that inner lid. That's a really great tip for any products that you get that have that secondary lid. A lot of the time it's there for a reason, and it keeps it from drying out. There's some products, I do have some products at home that you don't need to keep that lid for, things like moisturizers or gels. But if it's a clay mask or it's the kind of product that could potentially dry out, just keep the secondary lid. So there's my rant on keeping your secondary lids. Okay, we covered everything I wanted to talk about today. If you do want to do a full blackhead extraction facial, we have that recipe on our blog. You can just go to our website, hit the Learn tab, and then search Blackheads, and it's the first blog that pops up. So that is a really great facial recipe. You'll see in that facial recipe, it lists a cream cleanser and a glycolic cleanser that can easily be interchanged with whatever creamy or oil cleanser you have and whatever glycolic acid cleanser you have, as long as it is a high enough amount of glycolic acid. So for reference, the Glymed glycolic cleanser that I recommend is a 10% glycolic. The Skin Script is a 17% glycolic, so quite a big jump. And then the Bion glycolic cleanser, right off the top of my head, I don't have that exact percentage, but it is closer to the Glymed. It's a little more gentle. That is also a very lovely glycolic cleanser. Highly recommend that Bion one as well. But make sure you have something to soothe your skin afterwards. I know it's really hard to do extractions and not have a little bit of redness. So pick up something with arnica, pick up something soothing, something like Soothing Repair Mask. You could also use Face Reality's Hydrocalm Mask. I know a lot of people have that one at home. That can help soothe those spots after you pick. Thank you guys for tuning in today. This is a fun topic because it's right up my alley. I have very oily skin. I pretty much always have sebaceous filaments going because if you're alive and your skin is creating sebum, you're gonna have sebaceous filaments. It's just the way it goes. We have sebum, it comes out of our pores and it likes to harden on the surface of our skin. So just really good cleansing, that double cleansing method, using acids can really help with sebaceous filaments. And then some of the same types of things really help well for blackheads as well, but maybe just a little bit stronger. So using a stronger glycolic cleanser sometimes, maybe upgrading your cleanser a few nights a week to a more exfoliating cleanser like the Lemieux cleansing gel that we touched on. Those can make a big difference.